Hello, 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 and welcome to Illuminate, how joy gets you what you want. Oh, you guys, I am really happy that you are here. It's really such an honor. And I just want you to know that this time, the next hour and a half, that this is really your time to reconnect with who you truly are and to create space for joy to really flow into your life. Um, if you don't know, I just wanted to let you know that the oils that we are going to be using today, in case you don't have them, you can pause this video and go grab your oils. But we are going to be using wild orange, patchouli, silver fir, and jasmine. So go ahead and grab your oils. We'll get to those a little bit later, but I just want to make sure that you have them. And whatever you need to do to create a really joyful space for yourself, please do that. I made myself a cup of tea. I have it in one of my favorite cups that was given by a girlfriend. And yeah, just let yourself relish in a really fun, playful, beautiful environment for yourself. So do whatever you need to do, and then we will definitely get started. All right. Um, I also wanted to just make note that this workshop can also be used as a full moon ritual. We are in full moon energy right now. So this is being recorded on the full moon in Taurus. So it is in 2024. So it's a really potent time. And if any of you can remember what you were doing at that time, or maybe you were watching it still within this time frame, it's a pretty slicey and dicey time. But what I also love is that because this can be used as a full moon ritual, it's so appropriate because what does the full moon do? It illuminates, it shines a light. And the full moon is actually where things come to a head. So there's usually a higher emotional state. And I don't know about you guys, but when full moons happen, I typically don't sleep well because there's just a lot of unrest happening. And I feel full moons a lot. So full moons ask us to take inventory because it is a time of release, of letting go, a time of reflection. So the full moon is here in service to us because it's not only shining a light on the truth of who we are, but also it's shining a light on who we are not. And that is what needs to be let go, right? I mean, we're going to talk specifically about ourselves, but there are other things that we can let go in life, right? It can be habits, it can be relationships, jobs. But for me, what I truly believe in, because this is how I live, is that it is the relationship with who we are first and foremost. And then everything is, it flows out from there because once we know who we are, everything is following suit from that. So, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that this can be used for full moon or not. And you can use this, you can redo this workshop anytime. Okay. Also, you do not have to have this all figured out, even just to be here right now. The invitation is that all you need is a willingness to show up for yourself and explore what is possible. So, with that said, let's just take a moment to ground in. So I will invite you wherever you are, if you are sitting in a chair, make sure your feet are flat on the floor. You can have your eyes open or closed if that doesn't feel safe. The invitation is to just have the gaze be lowered as opposed to like a more of a stern gaze outward, and just soft, a nice soft gaze. So I'm going to close my eyes and just feel for yourself as you sort of rock back and forth, forward and back, that sometimes we have a tendency to sit more forward, sometimes leaning back, and just notice where it feels most in alignment with your head over your heart and your heart over your pelvis. So maybe stop where you naturally stop. For me, I do have a tendency to lean more forward. So that's a cue for me to just lean back a little bit and see how that feels. And the same if you are one to lean back too much, how does it feel to lean a little bit forward? And can you find that alignment? Again, head over heart, heart over pelvis. And with your eyes closed or with a soft gaze, let's just take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And again, deep breath in, deep breath out. And then one last time, take a deep breath and let's hold it at the top. Hold it. Open the mouth, slow release. And just feel your shoulders melting. Feel the gripping in your mouth, the jaw, maybe in the belly, the hips. Just let everything soften as you allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And then just notice how you feel in this moment. You might feel like be still rushed. Maybe there was a lot going on before you actually sat down to turn this on. Maybe you're feeling really tired, wondering if you can stay awake. There might even be some numbing. And all of it is welcome. Just allowing all of it to be here as you welcome yourself to be here. All of you. Deciding right here, right now, that I am here, present, and in my body. Sometimes we forget how easy it is to decide that we get to choose. That is where our power is, in our choices, in our decisions. And as you are here, just allow your sit bones to really connect into the surface beneath you, whether that is the floor, your bed, a chair. Notice if your right sit bone is pressed deeper into the surface or your left, or is it the left more than the right? And there is actually no right answer, but whatever you find, can you allow yourself to drop in just a little bit more that both sit bones are evenly supported? Beautiful. Continue to breathe. Yeah. And let yourself just settle into this space with no judgment, just awareness. There's nothing to change, there's nothing to fix. And as you allow your sit bones to connect to the earth through the support beneath you, down into the earth, into the soil, into the molten of the earth. Feel that connection to nature, which is our true nature. And then bringing your attention to the top of your crown, and imagine that there's a string at the top of your head being pulled up, all the way up, 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 up towards the sky. So much so you can feel your spine lengthening, your vertebrae separating while still being grounded. Yeah, maybe taking another deep breath, breathing into the fullness of you in this moment. Beautiful. And I want to invite you, just staying as you are, to set an intention for yourself. And just allowing whatever comes to you of what you want to receive from our time together. There is no right or wrong. It can be anything. And don't overthink it. Just allow for the first thing to come to you, and then write that down when you are ready. As we come out of this, taking your own time, you may gently open your eyes. Yeah, beautiful. So if you haven't already, go ahead and write down what your intention was. And again, just trust that your soul has guided you to this moment, because you being here has already shown yourself, as you have shown your soul that you are taking a powerful step by saying yes to yourself. And that is so huge, because we don't always, that's not a natural thing for us. So the fact that you are here, yay, it means that you are ready for change, even if you don't fully feel it. I get that. And that's perfect. It's just all perfect wherever you are. All right. So as we move through this experience together, I just want you to keep in mind your intention, and also why you might be here. There's something about the title Illuminate, how joy gets you what you want. So maybe you are seeking more joy, more ease, or alignment. And maybe you're also ready to let go of patterns that just don't serve you anymore, right? I mean, if you're anything like me, sometimes we know the patterns that actually don't work for us, but we can't let them go. you're in for a treat if that resonates with you. So, whatever brought you here, I want you to honor it as the first step on your journey. So, again, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. I want to talk about my journey. And especially, first, I want to talk about my own journey in this work. For those of you that don't know me, I'm going to take just a few minutes and also share with you what led me to offer this particular class. So, again, my name is JoAnne Longanilla. Hello. And my journey really of becoming a soul coach has truly been a deeply personal one. And it wasn't something that I told myself, I want to be a coach or I want to be a soul coach. I never really even considered myself spiritual for a long time. But the universe will always present us with opportunities to put us on the path. And my belief is that it is really up to us to listen to where we are called. And sometimes that just happens organically. And I really do feel that it did for me. However, I started out in corporate and nonprofit. I was going back and forth because I was thinking corporate, I wanted to make money, but then nonprofit because I just felt this call towards humanity. The nonprofit eventually, my work in nonprofit eventually led me to founding my own international nonprofit in Tanzania, in East Africa. It was a beautiful, very like heart tugging chapter of my life. It also taught me a lot about staying connected to myself and how important that is. Not only staying connected to myself, because I think I wasn't connected in all honesty. What I think is the most important is really building the relationship with ourself. And so the lessons, I actually didn't fully learn that until I hit burnout. And burnout was a huge wake up call for me because it really was the catalyst. It was my turning point that led me to my own healing and that deep self connection. So now what I do is I blend everything that I've learned throughout my journey, my intuition, my lived experience, and tools like mindfulness, essential oils, somatic practices, energetics. All of that has really taught me to be who I am. That allows me to know who I am. And now I get to support women in creating the most important relationship, which is with themselves. That isn't about struggle, but really it feels joyful, expansive, and aligned. My belief is that I truly believe that each one of us is whole already, like without even doing anything. We are already inherently whole and worthy. And when we release resistance and embody that truth, like embody, like in the body, embody that truth, that is when life really flows with the ease, fulfillment, and meaningfulness. So Illuminate is a space where we get to explore what it means to embody joy. So it's not just this fleeting moment where like, oh, I might go out and I had so much fun with that person, and oh, now that we both separated our ways and went home, and oh, now I don't feel it anymore. It's only when I'm with that person or only when I'm doing something. That's not the joy I'm talking about. Yeah, that can happen for sure, right? We definitely are filled with so many happy moments throughout our life, but I'm talking about an inner state of being. So today we're going to use practices that support you in releasing anything that may be holding you back from reconnecting, because it's a reconnection to the truth of who you are. And when I say reconnection, is because when we are created, when we are brought into this life, we are perfect, we are whole, we are worthy. It doesn't matter who we were born, what kind of family we were born into, what kind of childhood we had. That's actually where we forget the truth of who we are. So it's always about a reconnecting, because there's always some kind of disconnection based on something that has happened in our life. And it is a remembrance. Like, oh God, yeah, this feels good. Oh my God. Right? When people say, oh my gosh, I feel so much more like myself. Yeah. And that's not even it. Like, there's so much more. I'm telling you, I've been on this journey for over 20 years and it just keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better. So, why this offer? I love this offer. It has, one, I truly believe in it. It's what and how I live. You can think of it as a daily devotion of remembering, illuminating who I truly am. This is my practice. This is my daily practice. Sometimes moment to moment on those days that it's like chaos is swirling around in my head. Life will always present us with opportunities. And when I say opportunities, opportunities for our soul to evolve. And when I say soul, I'm talking about like the true essence of who we are. The soul doesn't change, right? The soul is whole, it's worthy, it is infinite. That is who we are, but we lose that connection. And the soul's purpose, its only purpose is for us to expand, to grow, to evolve. And I gotta say, like, the soul isn't about, doesn't the soul doesn't actually really care if it's easy or if it's hard, if it makes sense, but the soul is always here to guide us, right? Um, so coming back to this offer, Illuminate, again, like it was such a soul call of like, oh my God, this is so good. Like, illuminate how joy gets you what you want. Because illuminate for me is about like shining who the truth of you are. But the thing is that a lot of us don't know who we are. The reason being is because I'm only hesitating because I'm wondering if I want to put this in now, but I'll just tell you briefly. As we are growing up, like from a very young age, we come into situations that tell us that it's not safe to be who we are, that we do something and someone tells us not to do it, or we wear something, don't wear that, or we say something and it's labeled as wrong or bad or shameful. So we take that on as an identity and we actually put that part away because we don't feel it's safe, right? Because it's usually our caregivers, someone in our family that's telling us. And so we're doing everything to survive because without them, our brain at that young age is telling us we're not going to be able to survive. When we do that, we hide parts of ourselves, which means we are not actually whole. And so Illuminate is shining a light on those places that are also hidden, that we have still deemed that it's bad or it's wrong or shameful. And we can't truly shine when we don't accept ourselves, because it is all about being fully accepted, fully loved as ourself. So when I put this offer out, and you guys get the inside scoop because I haven't shared this in public. So so you're one of the lucky ones. When I had presented this offer, not once, but twice, no one registered. The first time I checked in, I was like, I wonder why. And because I've been doing this work for a while, I knew that there was something else in terms of my own like my own worth, right? That there was something blocking me, because when there are different reasons for us not to truly shine and be our full selves. And it could be, one of the reasons is sometimes who we surround ourselves with. And when I got quiet and I asked, what do I need to know about why no one registered? And I got this quick download that said, you need to release, and it was a particular person in my life, and I needed to release him. And it felt so true. It felt so aligned. And of course, it was really scary for me, but I also trusted it because of this work, because me listening to my soul. And so I did that. And then the second time I offered it, no one registered again. Now you can see that as like, oh, maybe this is something like I need to improve my copy. Sure. No, like I'm not denying that. But the thing is that in addition to, yes, improving my copy, but knowing that although this didn't unfold the way that I had initially envisioned, I saw it as an opportunity to really deepen my trust in the bigger picture of what is happening in order for me to be the person that I really want to be. There's always a future self, right? Because it's not about us ever reaching a destination, but us continuing to step forward into a better, more favorite version of who we are. It never ends. It never ends until we transition, right? So, one, it is a practice to not take it personally, which I didn't. But I also believe that the universe, this could be controversial, but sometimes the universe will test us. But the universe tests us to refine our alignment and reminds us of like our purpose beyond external outcomes. So for me, what I realized was that, oh, this isn't something that needs to like get put away and never see the day of light, but it was something that needed to be, how do I want to say this? It was something that was asking something bigger from myself. And so what this has actually prompted me to do was to start my own digital online platform where I could put more offers out to you. And it feels so perfectly aligned. And you guys might think like, okay, well, why couldn't she just do that in the first place? Because that's my journey. And so I'm really happy to share that with you. Uh, I know that was a little long, but I hope you guys really enjoyed that, because I think that when we can see life as just so magical and always supporting us to be the best, most favorite version of who we truly are, life gets really fun. It gets really, really fun. So, okay, we're going to get into an exercise. All right. Um, I want you to just take a moment to just feel and really drop into your body. So you can close your eyes, have a soft gaze, and just notice what feels heavy or out of alignment in your life right now. That could be you in your relationships, your relationship with self, your job, your finances, and just choose one thing for now. And once you have that, I want you to imagine what it would feel like to live with more joy, freedom, and connection in that area. And just notice what comes up for you. How does that feel in your body? Is there ease, relief? Is there less tension in a particular area of your body? And just notice without judging, without making anything happen. There might even be nothing but more space. There is nothing that you can do wrong here. As you just get familiar with that feeling or sensations, just know that that is closer to who you truly are, because that is what this class is about. It's remembering who you are and accessing the joy that has always been within you. Because joy isn't something that we chase, like it's not that external outcome. Contrary to what we've all been taught, it's something to embody, to remember. All right. So just notice we are going to move into our oil practice. And some of you might think, like, I don't have oils. That's okay. You can purchase oils. I will, I'll provide a link for you guys if you want to purchase oils. You can do that through me or a reputable company. It's really, really important that you purchase oils from a company that you know is that they don't put any additives or I was going to say preservatives, but additives um, and synthetics, that's the word, into their oils. doTERRA is a very trusted company that I use. as well as Monara. So those are two that you can look into. But the reason why I use essential oils is because, you know, there's so many beautiful tools that are available to us, but these essential oils are literally a soul technology. It's a soul technology because every oil comes with a like a message, a voice, a plan. And I heard someone say this one time, and I was like, oh God, this is exactly how I feel within my relationship with the oils, is that they soften the armor in order to reach the soul. Mm, God, it's so good. It's so good. Because I don't know about you, but growing up, I had a lot of armor. I mean, armor not only around my heart, but armor as in like I didn't feel safe of being who I am. I always felt like I had to be like someone else, and I was constantly comparing myself to my sister because everybody was really always acknowledging her. So she was really my barometer, and all my attention was outwardly as opposed to who I am. But all I could do was like armor it. Well, the oils are so beautiful for that, as well as so many other things, because again, it just is a gorgeous soul technology that helps to align and attune us to who we truly are. So, if you don't have your oils, I would recommend that you get your oils very close. Before we do that, I want to tell you first, we're going to do a technique called Aroma Point Therapy. So, what Aroma Point Therapy is, it's using essential oils with acupuncture points. So just like in acupuncture, they use needles. With aroma point therapy, we're using the oil on acupuncture points, on aroma point, on acupressure points or acupuncture points. And it's actually even more powerful because it's not so much the fragrance of the oil, although that is in and of itself also powerful. But when you take the oil, it has a vibration, and the meridian of that acupuncture point also has a vibration. And you put the two together, it is just this beautiful harmonization that occurs because the vibration of the oil starts to work through the meridians into your body. And if you don't know anything about meridians or acupuncture, meridians are energy lines that run through the body, and they run from one side to the other. And we're going to use oils with specific acupuncture points to, again, help attune us to our true nature. And the most beautiful thing about an oil, even just the inhalation, is that essential oils can shift, literally shift our mood instantly. It brings us right here into the presence, into the present. If you think about if you're walking down the street and all of a sudden, you know, you pass a bakery, whatever you're doing, it's like everything stops and, oh my God, it smells so good, right? The same thing with an oil, but again, the oils contain just this synergy with your soul, having a message, a voice, a plan. It knows things that we don't know. And yeah, it's so beautiful. It's truly beautiful. Now, Aroma Point Therapy is a specific technique. We are going to be putting them on specific points on our body, which I will show you how to do. The point, so for example, if we put a point, so I'm just going to do this without opening the bottle yet. So if we put the oil on our finger and then we put it on, let's just say I'm going to have it put right here on pericardium 7. And don't worry, we'll go through this. It's not about a really strong, like pushing down. This is not acupressure. This is aroma point, and it's a very feather-light touch. So much so that if you actually see, let me see if I can do this. If you push so hard that there is a difference in color, you're pressing too hard. So it's really just a soft, gentle pressure, because the least amount of pressure, the better. When you put too much pressure on that point, you're actually blocking, you're creating an energy block, which is the opposite of what we want to do. All right. So now, are you guys ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So let's start with wild orange. And wild orange is known as the innocent harmonizer. We're going to put it on ear shen men. So let me show you exactly where this is going to go. If you take your ear and you really find like the tallest point, and if you drop your pinky finger, I usually like to use my little finger because it almost fits perfectly. And it's right in this little fossa, and it just fits almost perfectly. And we're going to do that bilaterally. So I want you to just feel where that point is first. And then once you locate it, now you can take your oil. Now the oils, I just want to make a note, especially citrus oils. If you use citrus oils and you plan to go outside, either wear a hat that's covering, or you might want to just smell this, because citrus oils are photosensitive, meaning that when you put on the oil and you are exposed to sun, it could have adverse effects. So you might actually get some a little bit of a burn. So just be careful, be mindful. If you do not have any oils, don't worry, because this is the gorgeousness really of the oils, is that I will call in the oil for us. So even you being here with me on a recording, you will still receive the vibration and the energy of the oil. Okay, so I'm going to put wild orange. This is diluted, so if yours is not diluted, I would say put a drop of olive oil, jojoba oil, sweet almond oil into your palm, and then 1 drop of wild orange, and then just mix it. And then you can dip your finger, 1 finger, and then you're going to mix the two together so that they're on each finger. And then find that point again, which is ear shen men. And if you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes, relax your shoulders. Sometimes the tendency in this position is to hunch the shoulders, but try to relax your arms. Again, feather, light touch. And invite yourself to become present. If your mind started to wander off, just bring it back gently. Notice what you notice. And know that there is nothing that you have to will or make happen. Just notice what you notice. And as you do that, I am going to read something to you from Tiffany Carroll, who is my guide, my mentor, my teacher for essential oils. She has created an oracle deck of essential oils. It is exquisite. I'm obsessed with it. It is on sale, so I can also put a link for that. So stay where you are. If your arms get tired, I will invite you to keep your eyes closed or in that soft gaze and relax your hands back into your lap and allow for yourself to take in this message from Wild Orange. I activate the playfulness and innocence of the child. Indeed, I bring you into instantaneous union with your child spirit, unencumbered by the challenges of existence. Let us be silly together. Cartwheels and somersaults, burps and farts, scrunched up faces and weird noises. Try one of these now, even with your eyes closed. You're in your own space. Let yourself be silly. Let yourself play as your child spirit. The more you push yourself, the more you push away from the parts of self that are uncomfortable or wounded, the more you distance yourself from the portal that welcomes you and moves you into the dimensions of your chosen experience. In other words, you cannot bypass the painful parts of the self to claim the joyful parts of the self. But you do not have to wallow in or quote unquote fix the painful parts in order to access the joyful parts. Where have you become a bit too serious? You will know because you feel tense or perhaps avoidant. How can you allow your current circumstance to be fun? Can you get silly with me right now? Just allow yourself to take that in. Giving yourself permission to be playful in whatever way that looks like. In your mind, imagine it, feel that in your body. This is the experience. Let yourself let go. Let yourself play. Let yourself imagine. And I will offer this affirmation to you. I invite you to say quietly to yourself, I am the light of delight. The light of delight I am. I am the light of delight. The light of delight I am. I am the light of delight. The light of delight I am. And when you feel ready, you can bring your hands up for an inhalation of the oil. If you haven't already done that, just take in that fragrance, take in that delight that you are. Yeah. And just notice how you feel, what's coming up. I love this point together because the Ir Shen Men really helps us to release emotional tension. And when we pair it with wild orange, it really clears any kind of stagnation, but also uplifts the spirit, right? We think about like that childlike sense. And really, so the two together, they just help release any feelings of sadness, of fear, overwhelm. And instead, it creates this emotional lightness and clarity. Wild orange also, it stimulates creativity and self-expression. You think about children, right? They're constantly creating, they're constantly imagining and being self-expressed. This is the medicine of wild orange. And so while Shen Men, which means spirit gate, by the way, right? Spirit, our spirit, and the gate, the spirit gate. So while Shen Men supports our emotional alignment, and it clears the space for inspiration to flow. Wild orange is like coming in to stimulate that creativity and that self-expression. So the two, this beautiful pairing, it helps us to reconnect with our inner spark and intuition. And yeah, it's so good, especially when I get really serious. I'm like, where's wild orange? This is a really great uh, combination for us to get out of our own way. Okay, the next one is patchouli. Patchouli is known as the enveloper of light and shadow. By the way, I don't know, did I tell you what wild orange is? Wild orange is the innocent harmonizer. And patchouli is the enveloper of light and shadow. The light within us, which we all like, yeah, we want everyone to see like the light that we have, right? But we're always trying to hide the shadow, darker parts of ourselves. Patchouli is, let's come in and embrace all of the light, all of the shadow. And we're going to put this on CV4. CV4 is known as the gate of origin. So I want you to find your pubic bone. So if you're wearing pants, just put your finger down. You might want to unbuckle like me. And as you place and palpate your finger, right, find your pubic bone. And so you'll find that really bony part. And it's 2 inches above your pubic bone. Or another way is from your navel, so your belly button, if you put 4 fingers, so widthwise, below the navel, right on the midline of the body, 4 finger widths below, and then this right here is the point. This is CV4. CV4 is known as conception vessel 4. So let's do that together. And again, just 1 drop. And if you don't have it diluted, go ahead and just put 1 drop. Again, mix it. And then place, you're only going to put it on 1 finger because we have 1 point. This is not bilateral. And you find that 4 finger widths or 2 inches above your belly button. And allow yourself to have a feather-light touch to this. Closing down your eyes. Becoming present. And knowing that this point conception vessel, it opens and circulates, or I should say it restores circulation in the pelvis region and like our body's yin energy. So like that relaxing, restorative energy that helps with maintaining overall balance. If you're wondering why yin energy, especially sometimes when we are tense because we are armored up, because we don't feel comfortable being ourselves, it's hard to relax because we're always on guard. And so allowing for patchouli, the enveloper of light, we are activating and accessing these really deep reservoirs of vital energy. And it's activating this points vibration that can give us a clear sense of purpose. So it helps us overcome self-doubt, fear, insecurity, and it ultimately helps us with a more positive outlook and a stronger self-belief. So you can think of this as inner strength and empowerment. And not because we're pushing those parts that we don't want to see or that we don't want to show, but because we are welcoming all of that. And when we welcome all parts of ourselves, that is true wholeness. That is when we can fully shine, like our maximum wattage. That is empowerment. That is strength. That is what dissolves the fear, the doubt, the insecurity. Just listening for your own awareness of when you feel complete. Sometimes your finger will just naturally fall away, or you might just have a knowing like, okay, I'm done with this point. So when it's time for you for that sense of completeness, bring your finger up for an inhalation and just take that in. I want you to take it in, keep your eyes closed. I want to also read something from Tiffany's Oracle deck about patchouli. And just let patchouli come in and wash over you. I am here to remind you that you know how to dissolve the illusions that keep you separate from the fullness of your power. The how, quote unquote, how, is not rooted in understanding yourself psychologically. It is not rooted in finding the origin of the problem. You dissolve the illusions that keep you separate from the fullness of your power through the fluid embrace of the totality, the light and shadow. That is you. Mm. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. And again, just notice how you feel. Notice what's shifted. There is no right or wrong. I will say from my own experience, it is very, very subtle. The shifts can be really subtle. And that is the work of the soul. Soul work is subtle. The invitation is to trust you, to trust your body, and to trust the oils. Next up, my beloveds, is silver fir. Silver fir is the oil of the knower of value, your value. And we are going to put it on GV16. GV16 is known as Wind Palace. So a way to find it is you can actually use both of your hands, your fingers, and feel your occipital bone right at the bottom of your skull. So it's those two protruding points. And as you just move your fingers right into the middle, and you'll feel there's a slight indentation there. That is Wind Palace. So let's go ahead and put that silver fir right on GV16. Again, it's only going to be on one point, so one finger. And you might need to move some of your hair if it's in the way. And place that point right there in the middle. Again, feather, 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 light touch. Closing down your eyes. Just notice if you're holding any tension. Let that go, let it go. Come into presence with the point, with yourself. And I will share with you that GV16 gallbladder, or no, sorry, I said gallbladder. It's governing vessel 16. It's a gateway point, meaning that it is a bridge between the physical and spiritual, the rational and intuitive. This point is about clearing, aligning, awakening. It helps to release the resistance so that we can access higher states of being. This point is, it's close to the brainstem. So it is an important point in regulating our nervous system. So it soothes an overactive mind. It helps to reduce anxiety or agitation, especially when you're feeling really restless because you've just got this revving energy in you. This is a really beautiful point. And in silver fir, the knower of value. Yeah, silver fir reminds us of our inherent value. Inherent, meaning our worth is not up for debate. Nope, 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 nope. Nothing you can say, nothing you can do. It's just not up for debate. You cannot change it. The only thing that changes your worth is your story about it. Other than that, there's nothing you can do. So when you pair silver fir with GV16, man, it just amplifies the clearing, the aligning, the awakening. If your arm's getting tired at any point, just keep your eyes closed or the soft gaze, release your hand down to your lap, and just allow the fragrance to actually even come to you. You might even start smelling the fragrance of the oil start to lift up towards your nostrils. Allow yourself to receive that. And as you keep your eyes closed, I will read something from Silver Fir, the knower of value. Another name for silver fir is known as the seer of preciousness. I come to you with the most glorious and uplifting message. You are inherently valuable. Your worth is not up for debate. It does not matter how you might feel about your worth in this life, because your true value simply is. You are learning to believe that you are wholly deserving of goodness. You really are deserving of universal light and joy. Success and abundance surround you, and you receive all of it. Ooh. As you listen and attune to these forces, you feel empowered to easily take direct and conscious action in your life. You are stronger, wiser, and more available to grow mindfully and in loving nurturance as you embody the truth of your worth. Here is a mantra for you. 3 times. I am precious. I am valuable beyond measure. I am precious. I am valuable beyond measure. I am precious. I am valuable beyond measure. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. If you haven't already, go ahead and bring that oil up for an inhalation. Or 2 or 3. Make it nice and deep and slow. Yeah, it is so good. It's so good. Okay. Our last oil is jasmine. So this, for me, it comes in a roller bottle. There are some oils that will come in a roller bottle. So for me, I'm actually going to put this directly on the point. Or you can actually just place it on your finger and then place it on the point. I'm going to show you the point. So jasmine is the restorer of trust. Who doesn't need that, right? Just to trust even more. We lose our capacity to trust because of so much hurt and betrayal and pain. That's not the way that we are here to live. So jasmine helps us to restore our capacity to trust. And a beautiful point to pair this with is pericardium 7, which is also known as the Great Mound. So pericardium 7 is in the center of your wrist. So this is bilateral, meaning both sides. And it's going to be right between 2 tendons. And then you're going to be able, you'll feel that if you even just kind of bend your wrist a little bit where the middle between 2 tendons is. And so because it's bilateral, what you can do is either put the oil on one finger and then place it on the point and then do the other side. Or what you can do, and what I'm going to do, is just place the oil right at that point, right in the middle. And then take your other wrist, again, locate that point and place it right on top. And I invite you to just let your arms relax. Try not to put all the pressure into in the top wrist onto the bottom. So there's a little bit of a of a holding in your lower arms, so that there is, again, a light pressure. So once you do that, go ahead and just settle in. Close your eyes, soft gaze, becoming present. This is a mindfulness practice. So just being with what is right here, right now, bringing your attention to the point, pericardium 7, which is a beautiful point for releasing any kind of emotional burden. And again, restoring trust, together with Jasmine being the restorer of trust. It really enhances our ability to open the heart, to calm the spirit, and promote emotional healing. So if you are looking to really reconnect with this inner sense of safety, this is it. This is it. Pericardium 7 is the, it's the protector around the heart protector, as it's known in Chinese medicine. And it defends the heart from emotional harm. So if you can think about when we are feeling at risk of being harmed, we either shut down completely or we become overly guarded. And a way to think about the pericardium is, your house, right? It has a, think about, okay, so the house, right? If you think of the pericardium and liken that to the door of your bedroom, right? The door to your bedroom is more intimate than any other door in your house. So when people come to your home, you let people in through the gate of your house, right? It's not so vulnerable, if assuming you know who these people are, right? You maybe even invite people through the front door, but certainly not your bedroom. Definitely not the first time, right? So the pericardium 7 really creates this boundary over the more like intimate places of your being. So when we have any kind of trauma or damage around our pericardium, and we don't do any work around it, we will have distrust in others. We may even have a habit of letting people in too fast. But for me, that was definitely the case when I was younger and in my dating life, right? I would just be like, yeah, sure, come on in, because I had assumed that safety and love was through the bedroom. And so we all have different stories, different experiences, right? And so mine it was like letting people in too fast. Or I also had this behavior that I would be really warm to people, but I wouldn't ever let anyone past the pericardium, meaning there would still be distance from true intimacy, right? Like I would let people come in so far in an intimate relationship, but not really. I don't know if that resonates with any of you. So as the pericardium becomes recalibrated through these oils, and attuned, then our boundaries are actually functioning healthfully, and the nervous system can relax in relationship to our ability, our capacity to trust, right? So there's this, it's really more of a dynamic response uh, to information and how we receive it and how we process it. It's not about either being wide open or fully closed, right? We're constantly deciphering what is safe and how much do I want to open, how much do I need to stay protected and closed, but in a very healthfully way. All right. If you have not released your wrists yet, you can do that now. I invite you to close your eyes because I also want to read Jasmine to you. I hope you guys are finding this just so delicious because these oils really take you on a journey. Again, just tuning into how you feel, not judging anything. This is a mindful practice of trusting. Trust the process. All right, Jasmine. Trust in the process of your unfolding right now. I love you. I love you. I love you. Trust yourself. You can do it now. Choose it now. Practice this sweet surrender into the deeper knowing that you can trust and that every day you are learning how to trust even more. Here is your mantra. I am trust embodied. I am discovering greater trust in self and source. I am trust embodied. I am discovering greater trust in self and source. I am trust embodied. I am discovering greater trust in self and source. Yeah. How's that? Yeah, just feel into who you are. Because as we've recalibrated with these oils, even if you may not feel different, and that can happen, especially for me, I wasn't really in tune with my body in these such subtle shifts. I was like, I don't even know if it's working, but my life has changed because of these oils. I have gone through some big transitions, big transitions. Can you guys hear that? My tummy is was growling. Maybe that's also a sign. Yeah, that the oils they're really truly spirit helpers. Okay, so as we come to our last 10 minutes, I would like you to take this time to journal. So if you don't have pen and paper, please pause me and get that now. And I want you to free write these questions or from these questions, whatever comes to you. Free writing means that we're not thinking, we're just continuing to write. And sometimes you might say, I don't even know what I'm writing. I have nothing to write, and just keep writing. Just let it flow. And we're going to do this just for a few minutes, okay? So here's the first question. What did you notice during the practice as we applied the oils? How did it feel in your body, heart, or mind? I'm going to give you the second question as well. What is one belief, thought, or feeling that you are ready to release after this experience? What is one belief, thought, or feeling that you are ready to release after this experience? Because the release is a choice, it is a decision. That is true empowerment. It is in your decision. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to write on that. Again, free write. Allow whatever wants to come through, and trust. Trust what wants to come through. I'll be here with you as you write. Your mind has a tendency to get in the way. Just keep writing. Keep writing. Also know that if you feel that you want to continue writing, you can always pause me and write to your heart's content, because that is part of trusting, right? That is you in an empowered state, that if that's what you need, that's what you give yourself. That's how we build our self-trust. We trust the nudges, we trust the feelings, and we follow through with it. That's how we remember more of who we are, by listening, by trusting, by giving ourselves what we want, what we need. Last 20 seconds. All right. So again, you may pause me if you need to pause me. I just want to take a moment to just remind you and affirm for you that the shifts you've experienced today are seeds. They may feel small now, insignificant, maybe non existent, but I promise you, with time and attention, undoubtedly, they will grow into something beautiful, which is your own blossoming of who you truly are. Let's take a moment just to close the practice. Um, Closing your eyes and really just tuning into your whole being of how you feel now. You're attuned, you're recalibrated being. And take a moment to know and trust that your relationship with yourself has shifted, that your life will open you up to you, that the transformation that you are seeking is already in motion. You saying yes to this already set it in motion. You showing up to this was the next step. And know that the oils do not do anything to heal you, but they attune you to help you remember for you to do the work, for you to keep choosing you. And as you continue on this journey, especially with these oils, I invite you to watch this as many times as you need to, just going through the practice. If you want to do the practice in and of itself, each point is really just anywhere to hold it, anywhere between 1 to 3 minutes. Again, always listening to when it feels right for you to release it. But I really encourage you to stay with this practice. Again, just thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. You have taken a truly powerful step towards joy, freedom, alignment. Trust in the journey ahead because you are exactly where you need to be. This right here, you calibrating, you remembering who you are, is how you get what you want. Because it's not about the external outcome. Everything that we want in the external already exists with us. We want the car, we want the house, we want the money to feel better, freer, happier. That is all right here, right now. And when we continually attune and align to who we are, that's where flow is. that child spirit that allows things to flow. When we embrace all of who we are, the wholeness of who we are, that is true. That is true wholeness. When we know the value of our being without having to do anything, without having to achieve anything. And then we trust, we trust, we trust. We trust in the process. We trust in who we are. We trust that we are exactly where we need to be. There's so much joy here. There's so much, because you are already everything that you are looking for. And that just opens you up to receive even more of what you want in this life, because what you want wants you. And when we attune ourselves, we expand, we evolve, we expand our capacity to hold more energetically. If we're scared, we're in fear, we hold, right? We contract. We can't really hold, if someone's like, hey, can you hold this? If we're like this, we can't really, we can't really take in more. As we are expanding and opening our heart to this life and who we are, yeah, because we know who we are. That's the joy. The joy is knowing, it's illuminating, it is shining your truth. So I hope that this served you. I would love to find out how this was for you. If you would like to go deeper, I would love to support you further through my one-on-one coaching, any future workshops, retreats, depending when you're watching this. I am leading a South Africa safari retreat on December 9th. There's still time. There's still time. It's going to be epic. But yeah, please just continue to follow me. Stay tuned on what else is on offer. But thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I see you. I feel you. I love you. And thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful rest of the day.